All right, guys, so giving you some information on what is happening here. An officer has been reported injured in a shooting in East Baltimore. The incident happened off East Fairmont and Caroline near East Fayette Street. A large police scene was reported in the area of Baltimore and Fayette Streets, as we could see, as police blocked off the streets and worked to rush the officer to shock trauma, as it is protocol. So again, this is a obviously developing story. A lot of people still trying to learn about what is going on, including our Fox affiliates out there. WBFF, Fox 45.
Yes, Jennifer, our story was about those two police officers who were just targeted in West Baltimore. Police looking for that suspect. We were finishing our live report at police headquarters, which is less than a quarter mile from where we are right now here in East Baltimore. And as soon as we signed off, we started to hear police sirens, wondering what was going on. And we heard Foxtrot, the Baltimore police helicopter, flying overhead. And we got the phone call about an officer shot. So we arrived here. And as we were driving here, I actually tweeted the video. We were passed by an ambulance with its lights and sirens heading towards shock trauma, where shock trauma would be, so we can only assume that's where they were headed. And at this scene, we've been pushed back now twice. There is a large presence of people to my left on Caroline Street that we see over there. And as we arrived, I saw with my photographer around the Emily, if you could go around like the fire truck area, that's where we saw a gentleman lying on the ground, and I can see what appears to be blood left over from where medics were treating this man. He was wearing plain clothes, so I don't know if that's an additional victim to this officer. That's something that we're still trying to work out. One thing that I've also noticed in being here is the white car that's just in front of the fire truck. That driver's side door is open. I'm not able to see what's on the back of that car there, if there's any kind of identification on the back windshield. Foxtrot is still flying overhead, and since we've been on air, more first responders have arrived here. We watched that second ambulance leave the scene. What's it say there on the, looks like an ad potentially. The photographer is pointing out what's on the back of the white car there. The front door, the driver's side door, is open, and just to the left of that is where we saw that man. We watched as he was taken away in an ambulance to an area hospital, but we were also passed by that other ambulance when we were arriving to the scene. So still waiting to work out from police exactly what unfolded here. When we arrived, we did hear from people who were out and about saying that there was another shooting scene or something nearby that had occurred. So I can tell that police have a very large perimeter beyond just this intersection that has been roped off. But of course, this appears to be the focal point of the investigation, Fayette and Caroline Street. And Kai, Jennifer, yes, I have been reporting on recent attacks on law enforcement, specifically since about mid-July. And this appears to be the latest example of this happening. Yet again, we are waiting to find out exactly what unfolded, but receiving confirmation that a Baltimore police officer was shot here.
Yeah, we're gonna back it up. Got 30 seconds, folks. I'm ready to move the crime scene back here, all right? Or move the tape back here. So get what you can in 30 seconds.
Kai, I'm actually talking to Donnie right now. We're being pushed. We're pushing back.
Okay. This is a part of the crime scene.
Okay.
So yes.
Is there going to be a media staging area?
That's probably going to happen at shock trauma.
At shock trauma?
Yeah, the commissioner goes to shock trauma to visit with the family and make sure the officer's okay. And then once he talks to doctors, they come outside of shock trauma and talk.
Is there anything you can tell us about the other gentleman we saw lying here?
I just got here.
Okay. I just had a brief conversation with Donnie Moses. He's a public information officer. We're being pushed back once again. He informed us that the media staging area will likely be at shock trauma where this officer was taken. If you heard, I specifically asked him if there's anything that he can tell us in addition about the man that we saw lying and being treated here just in front of the fire truck, and he said no, he simply didn't have that information right now. He had just arrived to the scene. Correct. We'll bring it back. Yes. Okay. He was shot in the leg?
As far as I know, yes.
Shot in the leg, okay.
Come on, you good? Come on. Come on. They want me to close this street back here now? Yeah. So just block this street. Yeah. Okay. You might need some help up there.
Do you know if was he in uniform?
I have no idea. You beat me here.
Hmm?
You beat me here.
And you can hear our reporter with Fox out there in Baltimore is trying to get more answers. We'll stick with this coverage as this is breaking news happening right now out of Baltimore.
Is there somewhere you think that we should move?
Well, our car's over there.
Yeah, I know.
Limiting.
Oh, there's Keith. All right, Keith, I'm going to end mine so you can keep going.
Where's Alexa? Block 45. Alexa Actual, she's on the scene too.
Keith, if we can get to, there are a lot of people over at that intersection.
At that intersection?
That end of the intersection, if we want to get there.
Okay. Are you about to go live?
We are live.
Oh, we are live. Okay.
Yes.
Alexa Axwell is live now
Yes.
on Fox 45 News. All of our crews responded here. Her photographer Emily standing by for their live shot that's happening now on Fox 45 News. Again, a very active scene here. I'm going to let Alexa do that there, and I'm going to walk over here.
The light battery.
What
And you can see our reporters getting ready to do another live shot again, updating everyone on what's happening out here in Baltimore. Reports of an officer shot and possibly another person, as well as ambulances we're seeing left or leaving this scene, lights on, heading towards shock trauma.
Yes, Jennifer, we've been pushed back several times. This latest time was by one of the public information officers, so I was able to get just a little bit more information. He confirmed to me that this officer was in fact shot in the leg and taken to shock trauma. No word on this officer's condition. Still a very active scene here. This is the intersection of Caroline and Fayette Street. You can see police, fire, medic. As we were on our way here, we passed one ambulance that was headed towards shock trauma. When we arrived, we saw a man, a victim, lying just behind the fire truck, and he was being worked on by medics. It's unclear, I asked specifically, if this officer was in uniform, because the man I saw lying on the ground was in plain clothes. So it is possible that we're dealing with more than one victim. Right now, waiting to find out exactly what unfolded. I know we have Jeff Abel at Shock Trauma. The public information officer told me that they'll likely be giving an update from that location, so we should expect that. We don't know at what time. Still piecing together exactly what unfolded here in East Baltimore. When we arrived, we talked with some people who said they heard the shots and they felt like there was more than one scene, which could speak to a scene, someone lying on the ground, a man, as well as being passed by that ambulance while on our way here. We watched as that man was loaded onto a stretcher, put into an ambulance, and that ambulance drove away. We're also noticing this white car possibly having something to do with this scene. The driver door has been open this entire time, and the man was found lying just next to that. We can hear Foxtrot still circling overhead with its spotlight on. So obviously police keeping an eye on the scene, possibly looking for someone connected to this scene. But this is the very latest, Jennifer and Kai, that we're seeing right out here. Baltimore police confirming for me that an officer was shot in the leg and taken to shock trauma.
So we just heard our Fox reporter from WBFF giving that live update and report. You can see more police, even crime scene investigators arriving on scene here again, where things are still unfolding. A lot is unknown as they all work to quickly investigate this situation. But what we do know, what was just said to us from our reporter, was there is a confirmation that an officer did get shot in the leg. Unknown what his condition is at this time. There possibly could be a second person who was involved in this that may have gotten injured. It's unknown to say if that's what happened or not, as